welcome to Redvee TV's preview show. This week, back to Super League action. Hull KR on Friday night, and coming off the back of the Hull Cup game of the weekend, it appears that Cup fever has gripped the town. Tickets for the semi-final against Catalan went on sale this morning. Kev, you were in work today.
Yeah.
Good to see that Saints were able to sell the tickets over the phone.
Over 500 calls I made to Saints today. And didn't...
I don't know whether that says more about Saints' phone line or you. I think I had to give up after maybe 240.
No, I'm persistent if nothing else. Yeah, it was frustrating. I managed to get down tonight and pick some tickets up a bit later on. But it was just frustrating not being able to get through on the phone. After they'd advertised the phone number, it's one of those that when you're in work and you're thinking, I might not be able to get down today, people do tend to kind of start worrying. I wasn't too fussed. I don't think that we're going to sell out as quickly as people are anticipating.
They won't sell out.
No, but I was just hitting readout because I had the opportunity.
But the issue is, because of the difference in the ticket pricing set by the RFL, there's a big difference in, is it £21 for the cheapest and up to 40 odd for the
I think
highest. So people obviously want to get the tickets as cheap as they can, which is to be expected, because potentially we could have a Challenge Cup final 3 weeks later. I can understand why Saints can't sell them online, obviously, because you'd have to set up the Reebok Stadium, the Macron Stadium, whatever you want to call it these days, on the ticketing system and be able to sell it like that. The only negative for me from a point of view is if you say tickets are going to be available over the phone, have people answering the phone. Yeah,
that's it. They had four on at the ticket office today.
And at the end of the day, that's probably fully staffed. Yeah, and any other time it's fine.
Yeah, it was, and they were still going strong when I picked up my tickets about 4:30 today.
They will have worked hard in our ticket office today in this seat as well.
Yeah, they really will. But
so it's not a criticism of the tickets and staff. I think it's just a case of it. Maybe next time around, either have a couple of hours set aside for telephone orders only, but then you probably have every man and his dog wanting to try and get them on the phone, or I don't know. I blame the RFL for selling so many different prices of tickets. Or make it so that the RFL should be able to sell the tickets at the same price. Make it easy for fans. If you want to fill a stadium, make it easy for fans to get a ticket. And they've not made it easy for the clubs, have they?
It's a shame that Saints couldn't have just one person manning the phones, just so you did feel like it wasn't just ringing out. It's a shame that they couldn't do that. Whether they can't because of the computer system or whatever, cost might be a bit too much for everything. But it was frustrating. And fans, when I was chatting to a couple of people in the queue, they were saying it almost comes as a surprise, a semi-final. And that's what it seems like to fans, and it's a surprise that we've got to sell tickets for it.
That's for us over the last couple of years.
Well, yeah, but that's, and again,
and the thing is, when fans get to the window as well, instead of being handed, just you hand your money over, you get your tickets. Are they picking the seats? Does it everything take slightly longer?
That's what people are doing.
Yeah, and that makes it harder. So it's just one of those. Yeah. But obviously, everybody who's got a ticket today, well done. Tickets offices open again until Saturday for members, and then they'll go on general sale. There will be tickets.
Yeah, and non-members don't need to worry about that.
I think it's when Saints played Wigan. I think it Wilders. The Halliwell Jones in 2011. Yeah, I think we attracted 12,000 for a derby in the semi-final. And essentially, there's only 3 teams bringing fans: us, Leeds, and Warrington. And I'd be very surprised if Leeds bring more than 3,000 or 4,000 over, because they didn't take that much to Doncaster last year. Warrington will probably take a load because it is their cup final usually.
You said that. It's fighting talk.
The best thing about playing first is, if we win, and I'll say if, because I'm not counting our chickens before they hatch, it's a no-lose situation, isn't it? Because you can have Wire fans to the left, Leeds fans to the right. So whoever's getting beat and isn't going to be going to Wembley, you can wind up.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Exactly, just watch them.
Absolutely brilliant. And I think that's why the RFL have put us in the middle, just to give us that fun.
Watch them knock 7 shades of brown out of each other. That'd be great.
Yeah. To be fair, after watching Saints and Catalan, it's going to be like watching 2 tramps fighting in a ditch over the last set of chips, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's just the fans.
Yeah.
Right, Friday night then. One change to the squad this week. Justin Holbrook brings Matty Lees back into the 19 at the expense of Adam Swift. And that says to me that he's maybe going to rotate his forwards a little bit.
Yeah, possibly so. I mean, it's a bit of a shorter turnaround, but you can almost see Lee's coming in. It's not a like for like swap. It's not like he's brought Costello in, and it's looking at the backs. To me, that looks like maybe one of the forwards is lacking a little bit. May have took a bump. And Lees will come in. Wouldn't surprise me. I'm a little bit surprised though that there wasn't maybe another change in there. But as we've discussed time and time again, Holbrook doesn't make changes for making changes' sake. But I'm just surprised that he hasn't kind of given, I don't know, maybe a second rower a week off and brought somebody like Ashworth.
Saturday probably took a lot more out of us than people realise. I hear there was potentially a bug going around the camp last week. A lot of the players didn't train. There's rumours that James Rowe didn't actually train until Saturday morning. Luke Thompson was touch and go until the last minute. So for them to come out in that heat and be able to still put that level of performance in, which was enough to get us through the game, at the end of the day, do you know what? You win by 3 points, you win by 30, you're in the hat.
Yeah.
So it's a massive effort from the lads. Yeah, we didn't hit the heights, and I was bricking it at the end. But it was job done. And at the end of the day, how many times in recent years would we have capitulated at the end? But we didn't. We held firm. And as Justin Holbrook said, he didn't actually fear for our line at the end.
Well, that's it.
I've been the only one.
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Like, you find out. I mean, the club didn't come out and give it as an excuse, which is fantastic for a start. Which they could have quite happily turned around, and it might have given Hull a bit of a boost if they'd have found out. I think Hull lost it with the indiscipline. You could tell Saints were quite at it throughout the game. There were periods when we were quite good, and a lot of periods when we've not hit the heights. But yeah, it's good that they haven't come out and made that as an excuse. And I think anybody who kind of barracked us and said was the positives from us, we come out of that game, as you say, after bricking it and thinking we could throw this away here without knowing the full facts of what
and when I'm watching these sorts of games, it makes me question the system, because potentially Saints, we all know, are by far and away the best team in the competition this season. But an under the weather performance, your players have had an off week or they've not been well, you lose that game, that's one of your trophies gone. It happens again in end of September, you've won nothing. You could win every other game. And does the system need looking at that? Essentially, we're playing in a cup system, maybe so, but we all know what we're playing towards. So it's the system we play. So sometimes it goes for you, sometimes it doesn't. Luckily for Saints at the moment, it's going for us. So this Friday night, Warrington played Castleford. So somebody's going to drop points there. Wakefield are playing Wigan. So Wigan are going to drop points there. Hey. Sorry.
You're winding people up tonight, aren't you?
But potentially Saints have got 14 games left. We probably potentially only need to win another 7 to guarantee top spots, with other teams dropping points. So obviously Justin's been pretty much ruthless, and it might get to the point where the Super 8s come round, we guarantee top spot early on, hopefully, and then you can maybe just rest players and build up towards that semi-final.
I'm not entirely sure he would do. I think he'd keep the lads going and going and going, and only if and when injuries hit, that's the only time he'll change things up.
I think the problem is at the moment is, well, not the problem, I think it's an unknown quantity, isn't it? We haven't seen Holbrook coach here over a full season. We don't know what his mindset's going to be. So we're playing guessing games. You're watching this thinking we know what we're talking about. Well, you might not do, but we certainly don't.
Nobody's watching thinking that.
But no, then they were two fans who think aloud, make it up as we go along.
Pretty much.
Women's team. 78-0 victors. What did you make of the game?
I thought Saints were very, very professional. You could tell that Hull were from the league below. I mean, they gave it their all, but the Saints were very professional, and because it was only it was 30-0 at half time, and it finished 78.
It must have took a lot to keep going, because I've played footy and been on the end of an absolute shellacking like that, and it's very easy for your heads to go down, isn't it, and just give up. But they never gave up, and to be fair to the Saints girls as well, they didn't put the queue on the rack. Kept going and piled on the points and got some debuts there as well.
That's it, because they could afford to change it up a little bit because they were playing lower league opposition in the cup. they got a couple more subs, didn't they? So they could afford to change it up a bit. I mean, they were bringing half-backs on and off as well, giving them a bit of a rest, giving people starts. But you know what, so some of the play, like you think of like the lines that Emily Rudge runs are absolutely tremendous. The way the likes of Becca Rotherham brings the ball out on a kick return, sometimes it just looks like she picks it up and then she glides over the turf, just trying to find a little gap, and it's a really, really good game to watch.
The cup draw's been made today. Women's quarter-finals. Saints have got Cass away. Castleford, who are probably the form team in the competition, it has to be said. I think they demolished Leeds, I think, last week. They knocked the holders Bradford out at the weekend. Saints have yet to play them this season. They're going to go to them in a week on Saturday or Sunday's time, and they'll play the Jungle following the men's game. So it'll be the first time Saints will get to test themselves against Cass and maybe have a look at what they're going to be facing in the quarter-final. Really tough game. We know Faye Gaskin's going to be out for a number of weeks now. I think she's tweeted on the internet that she'll be basically having to sit and watch from the sidelines for a little bit. So Mark Brennan, the coach, is going to have to change things around a little bit, and probably that's why the weekend was a good opportunity to have a look at some of those players.
Yeah, you can have a look at couple of little combinations in a game situation, and I'm sure they'll be better for it. I know they've played at the likes of Odsal before. I mean, even Robin Park Arena is an impressive setting to go and play rugby. I've certainly never played anywhere as big as that, but playing over at the Totally Wicked would have, I think, stand them in good stead. It's all about experience and getting them experiences and taking them on board. And
you'd imagine, knowing Castleford like we do, how vociferous their crowd out there, you'd imagine after the men's game, I think they play Hull KR next week, after the men's game is finished, you can imagine a lot of them Cass fans are going to hang around and watch their women. So could be probably a record attendance that for Saints to play in front of there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if there's much else to do in Cass apart from go to Escape. But yeah,
go to or escape.
Just Escape. No, but that's it. If there's nothing else on the cards for them, why not stay around and watch the game?
Maybe that's an idea for Saints in the future. If they play on a Sunday, play the men's game at 3 o'clock. You'll have all the crowd in the stadium. And then afterwards, play the women's game, because you'd keep the crowd. A lot of the crowd would hang around. Whereas obviously on Sunday it was a little bit of a slower build up, with it being such an early kick off. Yeah. So maybe ideas to improve in the future. Yeah,
possibly something to look at.
Other things to talk about this week. There's been not much going on over the hill, is there?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Never mind. When it's all going wrong, it's all going wrong, isn't it? I won't say much. It's been covered on the hashtags on the internet, hasn't it? So, have we got anything else to add, really? Francis Cummins at Widnes? Step up from Dennis Betts?
Possibly. But Widnes need bodies, and haven't they let two go to Salford in exchange for, well, a Haraki? And it kind of surprises me a little bit, that, because I thought Widnes might need bodies. I know, is it Jay Chapelhow, possibly, who apparently signed for Salford for next year, so he's gone early. Apologies if that's
has he left his brother behind?
Yeah, he's left his brother behind. And you just think, unless...
I tell you what, I really don't like it when somebody leaves the brother to hang out to dry.
I know, he could have stepped in and stopped him. But that's enough.
Leaving? Yeah.
That's enough about the Chapelhow brothers. Yeah. I just think unless Widnes have got something.
He must have stayed silent in the corner.
Unless Widnes have got something up the sleeves, I find it a bit strange that they're letting two go and only bringing one in. Yeah.
So we've done our little Widnes weekly.
Yeah.
To keep the fans happy. Not much else to talk about. So let us know what you think in the comments below. I'll look down then. And we will see you for instant fan reaction after the Hull KR game on Friday night. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And hopefully this week we'll go over 150,000 views in the videos. So thank you very much indeed. See you Friday night.